Hi everybody, welcome to Whiskey Mystery. I'm Phil. There's no deeper, is there? No deeper. We do have some whiskey. How's everyone doing? It's no blind tasting today. Deepa is in Singapore, hanging out with the parents, not doing too well. So, you know, life can be complicated sometimes. Doesn't mean to say that we can't drink some whiskey though, does it? How's everyone doing? Indri whiskey. Actually, where are my notes? I have different notes though. Oh no, that's right. They're down at the bottom. I shall say hello to the chat first. Who is in? Tim. Oh, you're watching Alan Whiskey Friend at the same time. Very good. Whiskey 101. Yuri's in. Petehead. Matthias. Dustin. I hope you're enjoying your new purchase in the Springbank division. You're guessing Dalmore. No guesses today. Whiskey and Trails is in Whiskey Lovers Society. Ivan the Tolerable. Hey Ivan. And Sandro. People coming in now. Hey Michael. See you coming in. Now we should do a quick update. After we regained consciousness, we've decided that the Longrow Red, as Dustin pointed out, isn't better than the Highland Park 25. And so we're just going to leave it with the other reds. It was interesting how it cut through everything at the end of that session. And we've managed to get the Springbank up to 4th position. And there's a little bit of reshuffling actually. The Sherry Ben Nevis has come back up. Anyway, what can we do? You know, your whiskey preferences are like, it's like the tide going in and out, isn't it? There's no mark as to where the tide is exactly. So, okay, let's see. Hope we'll hear some good news from Deepa soon. Thanks, Petehead. Hey, Gerben. Dustin, I've had to switch to drinking something else to keep myself from acting stupid. Oh, like buying more? So what is this then? We were down at Palo Alto Fine Wines and Spirits, great little shop in Palo Alto, California, and we were just in there browsing, and they were doing a tasting of Indri, those Cavallan cherry bombs. You should drink those at the end of the night. You know, I actually got one here as a comparison, Dustin. We could bring that in. Let's see, can we get a close up? Not really. Let's go to this one. Not that one. Oh yeah, actually we should do that. Now you might be forgiven for thinking that that was Japanese, looking at that style. But of course, what am I looking for here? Let's get the viscometer charged up while we're doing it. But I like the fact that it's got like its own little bindi. Normally, you know what women would wear. So has anyone had or seen this whiskey? Okay, here we go. And start. Good enough. Let's get it out. This has been poured for about an hour. So, first off, it wasn't that expensive. Out the door in California, I think it was had a little discount on it for the promotion. It's basically $50 and then a bit of tax. So $55 out the door. Let's start with the basics. This is 46%, and it is a product of India. And where's the important bit? Yeah, I think you probably saw that earlier. Non-chill filtered, no added colour, 46%. Now you can see this is a triple wood option. Gerben asking about Deepa's mum. Doing okay. Doing okay. Trying to get the practicality sorted. Dustin, if I had another bottle, I might have bought 2. I'm weak and stupid. Good. Join our team. No one's seen it. Oh, Kilkaran. Kilkaran. It's probably better. Yes, mate. Pretty popular in India after Amrut and Puljon. I think it's just arrived here in the US. Tried a sample of that last night. As it happens, very enjoyable. Oh, Whiskyographer. Whiskyographer. So you have tried it. Oh, not that. So, what is it? It is a triple, not triple distilled, just triple matured. It's probably 5 or 6 years old. They use a 6-row barley that's been used in India for a very long time, so that's interesting in itself. Don't know the name of it. It is mostly matured in Ex-Bourbon, so you can see the batch number. And then they roll the Ex-Bourbon barrel into a PX cask. So it does have a sherry overcoat going on. In parallel, there's been whiskey or spirit maturing in French wine barrels as well. Barrels? Barriques. Casks. What do they have in French wine? And then they all get vatted together for, a month or so. Now, the people involved. Piccadilly is the company that owns the distillery. Indri is a small village about 100 and something miles north of Delhi. And the Piccadilly company has some sugar mill and processing there. And so they've been making whiskey there since 2012, I think. But it was mostly going into the Indian blending industry, as far as I can tell. Actually, we were getting this information from Madhu, who was giving the tasting. It's being imported into California, at least, probably the US, by Sam at Impex. And of course, we like Impex because they also provided us with the Ben Nevis. Well, I say provided us. We bought these. These are not gifts. We bought them at the shop. Deepa wanted to support the distillery. The people involved, though. Actually, you can see it on. You can see some signatures on here. Can you? Yes. So you can see Master Distiller. It says Glenn Bowie, who I think had something to do with Arden American as well. Sorry, I don't know enough about it. And Surinder Kumar, the Master Blender, I believe, was previously at Amrut. Maybe. Don't fact check me. Oh, and the timer, 3:55. Thanks, Yuri. So viscosity, not too bad, but 106%. So compared to other 46% whiskey, slightly, it's right about average. Average is about 107, so maybe it's slightly below. Let's have a look at bubbles. Bubbles look, it's hard to tell with 46, but those bubbles look pretty good for 46. They're hanging on, aren't they? Slightly longer. What else am I supposed to tell you? Yeah, so Piccadilly ran sugar mills. A lot of Indian whiskey is actually what we would call rum because it's distilled from molasses, I think. Right then, let me go to the chat before I start tasting anything. Anyone else tried? Never seen Indri, Whiskey 101. Here we have Amrut, Puljon, and the very odd Rampur, but nothing else. Yeah, this is really the 4th Indian single malt distillery as far as I know after those 3. Yes, Michael Wood. Actually, I just looked up Vin's Indri review because he actually had it last year, I think. Peter, for the record, just checked and available in the Netherlands for €45. There you go. I picked up an Amrut rum yesterday on clearance. Oh, an actual rum. I should have known better. Oh, not worth it. Lots of pineapple and spice. It is spicy, yeah. Real future pictures. Good to see you. Got your 3D glasses on. French wine matured in barriques. Yes, okay, so I was somewhat right there. Whiskey 101. Oh, you're talking to other stuff. Right, let's have a nose then. Yesterday's glass, because I did try it yesterday so I could make my picture. Let's have a look at the picture while we're on it. A little bit of sweet caramel kind of thing left behind here. Presumably the PX making it through. I don't know if there's anything peated in this at all. Probably unlikely. Not obvious. Deepa actually took a bottle of it with her to Singapore. So actually, where's Deepa's notes? I've got to bring up Deepa's and Pooja. They both had a taste of it. On the nose from Pooja. Very small, strong smell, as if the alcohol is in the nose. I think that applies to all whiskies, doesn't it? Rich, definitely on the rich side. Pooja got raisins, fennel, medicinal cough syrup. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Sorry, that was Pooja. Fennel is there. Deepa also got fennel, but light citrusy beer Deepa got. Pineapple-y lemon zest, fennel and golden raisins. It's overall not that dense. You know, it has a PX finish, but it's not super heavy PX, which is a good thing. PX is pushing its luck, isn't it, in whiskey sometimes. But there's a nice barley note behind this as well. What about the full glass? Okay, more raisiny on the full glass compared to the evaporating one. Let me so I can see the chat. Dustin, you thought about having Deepa on the stream via StreamYard? Yeah, we did. We did think about it, but of course the time now that, you know, Singapore time, it's like 2 in the morning or something at the moment. Just noticed that Aaron 21 is in the shelf. Glad to see after I managed to find a bottle in stock last week. Gee, that shelf is a good position, even to be there. Kind of dust. What are my notes? Fresh toasted barley, touch of green mint, pine on there, and then a lot of sweet breakfast cereal. It is a bit like sugared breakfast cereal. Where is my dropper? Let's just go a lot of water for the first sip. Let's see what happens. Top shelf Dustin, let's see. Oh no, Whiskey 101. Talking to Dustin. Strange though, because everything in India is so much spice and different. So you expect the rum to be very lively. Ah, yeah. Respect for Deepa's notes after last time. Love me some tarragon. All right, Ivan. A little fresher with that much water. This is heavy and spiced. Quite oaky actually on that now as well. Tiny little bit of bubblegum, maybe, which I quite like. Michael, we are so acclimated to the Scottish whiskey scene that we tend to judge everything by that point of reference. Yes, if in India or Japan, the taste preference may be different. True, although they are single malt whiskies, so they are made in the style of, aren't they? But, of course, different barley, different climate. The location of Indri is, extreme weather. Gets quite cold in the winter and super hot, so extremes. Spicy. I presume that's the French. Oh yeah, that's hit my throat now. French wine oak. That first contact. Quite a woody finish, actually. It smells spicy going back now. It tastes pretty young with that much water. Let me use that in here. There's a slight char spice, you know, in Indian cooking. It's kind of stupid to compare Indian things, I think, but I'm going to do it anyway. In Indian cooking, you put all the spices in like a little hot bowl on the metal bowl on the fire, so they get toasted. So it has the finish has a touch of that about it. It's not very Scottish, half Scottish. Do they mention where the barrels are from? No sign of that, I don't think. I should have asked when I was there. Don't think it tells me. It just says first fill bourbon, French wine, and PX sherry casks. Could be from anywhere. Kind of sweet, lighter fruit up the front, but very quickly the spice arrives. Surprising. It rolls in, but it's not. It's like a nice bitterness, little sharp edges to that spice. Okay, let's go to, let's see. Taste, Puja. Fennel, not refined taste. Alcohol straight in the throat. Definitely nothing I've ever had before. Too basic for me. Whiskey snob. Not complex at all. No finish at all. Oh, Puja's not liking it much, is she? She is a fan of Laphroaig 18 though. So bear that in mind. I don't think it's I think it's the spice that hit the throat. I don't think it's the alcohol. Interesting. It tastes thinner up front to me today. It was fuller yesterday. And there's more spice today. That's interesting. Bit different. Deepest notes. Crude, unique, surprising, unusual. I think that's fair. There is a little bit of a rough edge about it. I like it, although young. Pineapple, lemon zest. Local barley like. Yeah. Spicy, then lingering finish. I think that's fair too. It is on the sharing list if anybody wants to try it. Oh, it's probably not in the link of this live. I'll put it in after because I didn't copy the notes in the way I normally do. There's about 80 things on the sharing list at the moment, if anyone hasn't looked for a while. What's it going to be like? I brought a couple of things to compare. Let's see, any other questions? Dustin, I think the whiskey world has matured beyond just American or just Scotch, yes. At least the plurality of us geeks, at least 4, yeah. I think we've learned to accept variety, even if we have our personal bias. I think you're right. Sandro, Indian barley of the same varietals, i.e. Golden Promise, etc. Oh, I don't know. Are you telling me or are you asking? I don't know what the standard Indian. Apparently that they said it's a barley that gets used for beer and maybe bread as well. Did he say bread? Whiskeyographer. Has Indian food caught on in America yet? Not the way it does in London. No. Talking of Scottish whiskey scene, I've got James Eady 12 Colila. Oh, very good. let's compare to Bunna 12. Because the colour is pretty dark, but honestly I think this is going to be more sherried from my memory. Let's see. Oh, you're asking Sandra. Yeah, I don't know. Hey Welsh, just joining, wondering what the chat's about. Well, Deepa's not here today, so we're doing a non-blind tasting of a new Indian whiskey, new for us. I think it is batch 2, so I don't know where batch 1 was. Maybe it was distributed in India. This is from March 22. Okay, Bunna. Okay, seems more like Oloroso now. Oh, by comparison, this is a hint of daffodil in the sherry, which is more of a floral light kind of thing. Michael's just wondering if Deepa made any reference to the length of the finish. It could be important. She said spicy then lingering. So the spice does linger. I have to say, on the nose, I do actually prefer what I'm getting in this balance between the barley and the sherry on the Indri. How much is this is about the same price, isn't it? Around 60 we paid for this 12, and this is an older bottle. Okay, let me give it a go. Slightly more bitter overall, so maybe the PX has moved my palate sweet wise. More of that nutty Oloroso bitterness going on. Quite stable throughout, no real change. There's definitely some changes here, so it's more interesting. The arrival is a little sweeter, certainly, but similar level of complexity, if that makes sense. But then the spice layer rolls up and then fades, and then the finish is some of that char spice. I would probably give it to the Indri. Is it something that a Bunna 12 fan would like? Is it close enough? Oh, spicy oakiness though. It's sort of similar in the very first half, but you'd have to enjoy the oak spice to enjoy the Indri. Oh, it's quite nice the way that sizzles at the end though. What else did I bring up? Okay, let's compare to Paul John. I did wonder if they might use the same barley. This is Paul John Brilliance. Let's go back to the chat. Let's see. Michael Wood. Nope, did that one. Whiskey 101. Do you know if this is really sold in India under the same name, or it's made only for a kind of export? I think it's selling in the Indian market, but it would be quite expensive in India relative to their, cheap bottom shelf type whiskies. Does anyone know officially if it's in India? I think it is, because no, that's right. I saw a review on YouTube and the person was quoting a price in rupees, and the rupee price was somewhere between kind of $40-ish, 45. So it wasn't really any cheaper in India. So depending where they were buying it. Are there sherry daff mills? Sandro, there was a daff mill which was 3/4 ex-bourbon barrels and then vatted with another quarter from sherry barrels. And we tried it, actually, if you look at our old video of daft milk comparison, and we didn't like it at all. So there are, but I wouldn't buy another one. I would definitely want to try before I buy. Now, it was shared out, so we don't have it anymore to compare. It didn't work for me. It was way too kind of bitter char oak weirdness going on. Welsh, Bunna 12 is great standard to compare any new whiskey on the block. 36 in the UK. Oh, that is very good. Okay, Paul John. Obviously, Brilliance I don't think has any sherry. Maybe it has a little bit. More spirity. Okay, now the PX is more obvious coming back. It smells very PX now. Oh, it has that similar spicy, dry, not quite char, but oaky. I'm thinking this is better. This was also about 60. This tastes fuller and more balanced now compared to the Paul John Brilliance. So I definitely pick it over Paul John Brilliance. Is there anything else on the shelf? The thing is, we don't have that many younger sherried whiskies here anymore, do we? Anok, 24. Okay, let's pick something in the same ballpark. I know it's only 5 or 6 year old, but you know, Indian years potentially should be coming across as something older. And we did buy this Arran 14 recently, some Dusties on the shelf for about $80. So obviously quite a bit more expensive. And it is a fan of, we are a fan of it. Let's see, what is everyone else, any other questions? Kilkaran. Indri is in the similar price range as Glenlivet 12 and Glenfiddich 12. Really? Well, I would absolutely pick it over those. It's much more interesting. Kilkaran, where are you? Because obviously in the US it's not the same price. If you're in India, that would make sense because the import duty is super high, isn't it? It's like 150% import duty or something on alcohol, I think. So I guess that's a good advantage, isn't it? If you're making good single malt whiskey in India, you can effectively price it like an imported or just below maybe. Dustin, I mean, average drinker doesn't want to spend over 20. Yeah. All right, Arran 14. There's a bit of sherry in this, isn't there? Okay, much darker and richer by comparison. This has got a slight toffee apple, but you've got a bite of the apple at the same time. There's also a slight bit of sweet candy bubblegum on the Arran that I like. Not quite pineapple, but and this is more like the toffee apple has been really charred, caramelized, dark honey. That is lovely. Definitely more delicate. A lot of little gentle things going on in that Arran. More on the lighter fruit side, but there is a little bit of honey on the top there. Oh, there's the spice. Less interesting flavors on the arrival, and then quickly the rush of spice comes in. This is a bit more exciting, but the class and flavors of the Arran are significantly better. So, if you find an old dusty Arran, that's good. Okay, one more. This is, Dustin, just for you, Cavalan Sherry Cask, or Sherry Cask Strength. This was a total wine bottle from 2019, just a little bit left. Paid $177 back in 2019. And it's 58%, so something like a Solist, but it was just branded under Total Wine. I'm going to add quite a bit of water because I want it to be a similar comparison in terms of it. I don't want to drink 58%. Maybe a touch more. That is so dark. Obviously fully matured sherry. Now I did wonder, you know, the hot climate thing, is there any similarities showing up there? What was that? That almost reminded me of like green vegetable garden, peas. Weird, I know, but that's what was going on with the sherry. Like you're in an allotment, you know, in a vegetable garden, not cut vegetables. You're just there with the leaves. And then there's the nutty sherry there as well, but quite green. More barley, sort of the burlap Hessian bag thing going. Very nice nose. That first arrival is not so interesting compared to the nose. It's a shame. It's a little, you know, the expectation of the nose sets it a little higher than the arrival can hold or can't really match. Okay, smells like sherry coming back now. Oh no. I put this in the category of Kilkaran 8 Oloroso 57.1%. No! I remember why I don't like them now, Dustin. Because it's so bitter, barrel, woody. Now, of course, it's a single cask strength. It's a small batch. They could be bad barrels, but no. Way, way, way too oaky. Very soft and not sherry at all by comparison. Anybody want some Cavalan sherry? No point in comparing that. Good. Okay. Well, is there anything that I didn't say? Honey roasted barley, dry fine spice, balanced between the spice and the barley and the sherry. Peppered bubblegum fruit. Yes, that was kind of a name I was coming to. Barley quality. So I think that's good quality barley. Spirity, but not overpowering. Where's the picture? Let's go back to the painting. So you can see quite a lot of that spice there. There is a little bit of youth bubblegum pink things going on, but I quite like that. And the finish doesn't really add or take anything away. It's just a gentle fade of the spice, and that makes it long. Very good. Well done, Indri. Does it make it on the shelf? No, because the shelf is ridiculously competitive. I would put this in the, let's see here, we have like Elite Magic for things up here. Then we've got Fantastic. What do we have? Hang on. What's our order? Can't even remember now. I think the next one's Fantastic. If you look in the blind results, Fantastic brings us all the way down to, let's see, is Hakushu still in the Fantastic section? Hakushu, yes, it is. So everything on the shelf is Fantastic or Elite Magic. In the Great division, what would be something in there? Aaron 18, Balblair 99 is in the Great. Ben Roma, Cask Strength from Tim is in there. Brooklady Isla Barley. Craig Ellicky 13 and 17 actually. Deanston 18. Where would I put this? I think lower end of Great. I think it can hang in there. Very good. Right, let's set that aside. We'll have a bit of a chat. How's everyone doing? No timer. Yeah, exactly. I could bring the chat up there, couldn't I? Is the chat there? There it is. How long have we been chatting? Oh, 40 minutes. There you go. Yes, I did see that one at our store. Oh, talking to Whisky 101. You have a terrible single barrel then. Yeah, I bet we have. I don't know. I don't know if I will be convinced. Full, fresh sherry, cooked in a hot climate is just not our style. Send me that and I'll send you something good. I'll trade it for your new bottle, Dustin. I want you to try Brora. We have to work something out, Dustin. You need to try it. Yeah, no timer like that makes a difference. They normally respect the timer so much. Yes, exactly, Whisky 101. Bitter barrel face. Yes. Michael Wood. I've switched to the bad Halke. What a, I don't know what you're drinking now. Antal. Very pleasant and quite comparable to James Ede. Oh, you're chatting about other stuff. Okay. Whisky 101. Can you remind me what year release is the Laphroaig 25 on the top shelf? It's the one which is, I'm going to say 2019, although I'm not sure. But it is Ex-Bourbon. And I don't think it's in there. It's hard to tell because the box is heavy by itself. It's not there. Oh, actually, a spreadsheet's open. Let me see if I can see it. We actually do have another one. Yeah, it is the 2019. It's 51.4% and it's Ex-Bourbon. We also have, or we have also tried the 48.9% Laphroaig, sorry, the 2017, which I think is about 25% sherry. Scotch whiskey auctions. It's probably just about finished. Greg, welcome aboard. A new subscriber, thank you very much. Top shelf, Dustin. I'll get you some Kavalan you'd like. Trust me, we both hate KK8. That's true. I should send you some of this, just that you can confirm. Yeah, because we both do not like that KK8. And we can do a deal on my new bottle and Brora. Okay, let's work something out. That would be fun. there's something to be said about dusty bottles. I found 2 bottles of Tom and Tarrell 12 Portwood. Very nice, Sandro. Where would you rank the Indri amongst the Indian single malts so far, Kilkaran? I really don't have the experience. We still have an Amroot. I can see it off camera lurking in our blind bottles. That's the Port Nova. Haven't tried it yet, so I can't say. Paul John, we have had the Brilliance. Obviously, I just said that I preferred the Indri. We have Paul John Bold lurking in the blind bottles as well. And I've never tried a Rampor. So, not very helpful, is it? Let's have a quick look. Can we go and see? Let me see. If I turn this on. No, that's not helpful. That's just me being me. Can we do that? There we go. Let's see how Scotch Whisky Auctions is doing. Because I think the prices are not going up anymore, let's say. Where's my interact? Oh dear. I can just scroll here. Right, okay. Here's things that I've thrown in my watch list just to be curious. 400 on the Bal Blair. Oh dear. So that is up on our top shelf here. Actually, the 1990s aren't too bad, are they? Now, the price at the moment for the dollar is somewhat helpful because it's only about, 1.1 exchange rate. But you still have to put 10% on top of the price. So the multiplier is probably more like 1.5. I was going to go over to another page. The multiplier is probably more like 1.5 delivered, whereas it used to be more like 2. Some Ben Nevises. How are they doing? Oh dear, 300s. Okay, 190, 190. Yeah, Ben Nevis has become quite expensive. Wow, that 23-year-old is expensive, isn't it? Are things actually... You can still bid. What should we buy? Any of... 420? I've never seen a 420 Ben Nevis. That's a lot. Wow, there's a couple there. There's another 400. Yikes. I think we bought most of our Ben Nevises at about $300 or $250. Oh, hang on, Brora. What's the Brora going for? £2,700. That's more expensive than in the US. There's still one of those bottles sitting around in California at least, which would be a bit cheaper than that. A 35-year Brookladdy is $520. I was curious about that one. $320 for that horrible PX. It's not horrible. Yeah, okay. Horrible is a bit much, right? Too much PX in the bunner. I would have tried that today in comparison, but it is all shared out. Too much PX for me. I was curious to see what it was going for. We paid $175 for it, and the rest of it was recently shared out at that $175 cost. What else are we going to get here? Some old Clynelish. Oh yeah, that's not cheap, is it? Not cheap. Look at those prices. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe prices aren't dropping yet. No. What's the 24 year? 320. Could be worse, I guess. Craigellachie 23 is about $280 here. Yeah, that's going to be more expensive. How about the Highland Park? Not terrible. The 21 year, is it? I don't think. How about the older ones? Oh, 440, that is getting up there. But probably still cheaper than buying it in the US. A couple of Imperials. Actually cheaper than expected. Good grief. What's that 21-year Lagavulin doing at 1,150? That's not worth it. No way. Okay, Laphroaig, 30-year-old Laphroaig, currently at £700. So you're, okay, 25, 300. That's probably still slightly cheaper than buying it in the US. Longrow 18. There's a ton of these. I just put them all in. 110. Okay, the price seems to be about 110. That is a $300 bottle in the US. That is absolutely worth buying at the auction. How many are in the auction? Good grief, everyone's dumped their Laphroaigs in. Yeah, single cask's definitely a bit more expensive. Yeah. What else is there? This society bottling looks interesting. Ex-Bourbon, wow, £200 though. Okay, there's a lot of those in the auction. Obviously, everyone just dumping their society bottles in. Right. Longrow 320. That is probably cheaper than you can get it in the US, the Longrow 21. Big fan of that. 220 for the Octomore. Pricey. Right, how much are Rosebanks? Oh, I really do wish I put one of those Rosebanks in the auction. I think it sold for about 500 a couple of years ago, so it's doubled in price and I wish I'd kept it. There you go, auction regrets. Some of the Rosebanks. Okay, here we go. So I see Springbank coming up. Now, I'm curious, what was this selling for? Can we get to see the price graph? Oh no, you can't see it the way that the page is scrolling, but I can tell you, is there any way to get that in your shot? No, can't scroll down far enough, sadly. But the price had peaked at about £330 for this bottle, and last month they were selling for £180. So I think, and where are we now? 200. Okay, it's up a little bit, but the prices are down a little. Wow, so many of them in the list here. What the hell? 30-year-old, 2,300. That's not going to be worth it. Buy a Brora. Good grief, what's wrong with people? Let me come back to the chat for a minute. Is anyone bored of my scrolling? Well, we're going to do it anyway. Let's get through the Springbanks, at least, because I wanted to see what local barleys are at now. See, this 16-year-old local barley was selling above $2,000 at one point. Sorry, you won't see the graph, but let me go and look. Yeah, the peak on this was 2,100. Now, the price is still up, even now, but 900 is not 2,100. So we are starting to see things come back down. Okay, so the older local barleys are still expensive. I wonder what the cheapest one is. Is there anything below 300? Oh, there is. Okay, 280s, 300s. The 9 years probably the cheapest one. Where's that? Didn't see it. So that has definitely come down a bit as well. How about the 21s? 520. Yes, because we sold some of these in March, didn't we? And they sold in the 750 range. Let me quickly check the graph. The highest price was close to 1,200 for a 21-year-old. And last month they sold for 500. So it seems like this month is up slightly. There are a ton dumped in the auction, but they're not getting the massive prices. Okay, Dustin, here's one for you. Let's see. 1,300. 1300. So that's going to be more like 1800 by the time it would get to the US. So I don't know if you're going to be buying a 30-year-old anytime soon. There you go. What are your thoughts? Back to the chat before I go. Let me scroll back up a little bit. Let's see. Bitter barrel face. Yeah, that's where we were. Whisky 101. Can you remind me? Oh yeah, did that. Antal, would you recommend the Indri for just under 50 euros? What else can you buy in that price range? That is the question. Do you like Bunna 12? Do you like Bunna 12 if it had a spicy barrel finish? You're kind of in that ballpark. I wonder what else you can get for 50 euros, Antal. Not much on our shelf. I think it's probably good. I would try before you buy at that price. Only because of the spice. You're going to have to like the spicy oakiness. Dustin, I'll get you some Kavlan. Oh yeah, we did that one. Sandro, there's something to be said for, oh yeah, oh, I'm glad I went back up and caught that other comment because I was further down. Kilkaran, try to get hold of the Amrut Atma. It's exclusive to the US. I've heard great things about it. Hoping to score it myself through some friends. Oh, haven't heard of that one. Although I must admit, I don't look that carefully for them. Michael Wood. What I've found is a very interesting whiskey, and I'm thinking it's worth putting it on the radar. Badacro Distillery. It's somewhere in the Highlands, and they're interesting. The Highlands of which country? Dustin, I want 24 for that. Oh no, I'm not sure which one you were talking about. Oh wait, I just did a bad thing. Dustin, lag 21. Yeah, that's different stuff, lol. Not at that price. Come on. Anyone had Amrut Fusion? I recalled someone praising it. Hang on, is it Fusion that's on our shelf? No, it's Port Nova. Yeah, Port Nova's still in the blind. That Society Longrow 20 was £200 originally. I have one. Couldn't resist. So Gabriel, that's not that expensive then, is it? The current bid on it is selling at... You're telling me it's selling at the original price? Yeah. Quite happy with scrolling. Thanks, Whisky 101. 2400 is less than the US retail on the 30, I believe. Fair enough for the Laphroaig, I'm guessing. Still a lot of ridiculous prices. I think you're right, Peter. There are, but the cracks are showing, aren't they? If you have a Longrow Distillery bottle which retailed at 200, did it really? Yeah, okay, maybe it did. If it retailed at 200 and it's hitting the auction at 200, that means that the cracks are showing, as they are in the house prices as well. My guess is that all the high value assets will start to see their, yeah, Michael, I'm with you. Their value will diminish. The cheap stuff will be difficult to replace as the cost of production makes it unprofitable. True, but there's the inflated price things are going to be coming down. Ivan, Indri Live becomes obsessing over local barley. Yep, that's just normal. I wonder what you can get for 50. You could turn around. What a laugh. There's nothing on your shelf that is less than 50 for a single pour. I know. I did feel stupid once I turned around. The cheapest bottle, they're all Dusties, I think. The Arran at 80. Highland Park Dark Origin around 80. Is there anything cheaper than that? Surely there isn't, is there? There's no point looking up there. Everything else is over 100, isn't it? Hackashu's 100. Kilkaran is 100. 150. Oh dear. Oh, Gabriel, something needs to be cleared, showed. Okay. Scotland. What? Okay, didn't recognize that name at all, Michael. Top Shelf Dustin. Mike has 2 to 3 bottles of that 21 and paid 1,000 to 1,300 each. It's special whiskey. You can't get something like that anymore. What's special about it? The price? Keep in mind, the most loved Lagavulin of all time is the 21-year-old from 1985. That one you showed was distilled in 91. Ah, fair enough. Talk about Fusion, Amru, Antal. Okay, Kilkaran 12. Oh, now you're talking. Kilkaran 12 at the same price. Good comparison because it's just, no, that's the 8. See, we have the 12 up here. Now this is an older bottling and I know there is batch variation. See, we managed to get it fully back to Campbelltown. Well done. Lovely nose. Needs more time in the glass. But definitely more of the old socks than the Sweet PX. Let's go the Kilkaran first. I could at least turn it the right way around, couldn't I? That would be nice. This one is from 2018. To be fair, I don't need to taste the Indri. Oh, too many things going on in there in a lovely way. Little pineapple notes overall, along with the old sweaty socks. Barley notes. Tiny bit of sherry, I guess. Oakiness and barley as well. It's just all in the mix. Nothing wrong with that at all. That is so good. And just lots of little swirls and different, like, oh, what's that? What's that? What's that kind of experience? Okay, this is a good comparison, just to set it in its place. Let's see. Thinner, weaker arrival, less intrigue. Not bad though. Not so spicy that time. Yeah. It's really quite good, I think. Just not that good. All right, here we go. Where am I up to? Let's wind this up. If you don't have a Kilkaran 12, definitely buy that first. 225 a total wine for the Atma. No. Well, maybe. Gabriel, yeah, it was £200. A bit not good. Oh, I see. The society members are selling them. That's why, because it's just not that good. Is it a rum cask or something weird? Or no, it was ex-bourbon, wasn't it? Go for the KK12 every time. Whiskey 101, you are correct. Glen Scotia 15 was close. Maybe. Old Pulteney was one of your cheaper purchases. Yes. The Glen Scotia for us is about $80, just off the shelf. The 1991 Lagavulin distillates are legendary. I see. Good casks. Fair enough. Old school. Kilkaran, nice chatting and listening. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for joining in. Photograph. Hi, Phil. Short greetings from Ireland. Oh, very good. Where are you? Visited Laphroaig Distillery the other day. Nothing like Hackshoe in my collection. Fair enough. Not quite. That was a funny jump. I wasn't expecting Hackshoe to be part of that thought. I always get a phone call from the local whiskey store owner whenever a new Kilkaran comes in. Love the stuff. Antal. Well, it's not Kilkaran. What can we say? Sandro. So glad I bought 3 bottles of Kilkaran 12 on offer for €44 in 2020. Winner. Sandro is the winner. There you go. Whiskey 101 to Antal, except the 16. I thought it was not so great. We didn't like the 16 as much as the 12 either. Funny that. What happens? We did pick up one from the distillery, or Springbank distillery at least. Top shelf Dustin, the recent KK12 was not so good, or so-so. Still good, but not what the old Kilkaran 12s were. That's why we picked up, when we saw 2 of the old bottles, this style, on our little trip recently, we did grab them in a dusty shop. Sandro, I see the Kilkaran 12, 16 sold out, but it was €75. Okay, not bad at that price though. Stefan's in. Hey, Stefan. Bionic Deepa. Hey, Deepa. Deepa's in, everyone. Everyone say hello to Deepa. Hi, Deepa. Look, I've managed to do a comparison with Kilkaran. I thought you were supposed to be in bed. Greetings from Singapore. I was woken up by loud thunder. Lots of lightning and thunder. Now, everyone knows Deepa's deaf. And when she sleeps, she has no hearing devices. So how did you get woken up by thunder? Did you mean lightning? Maybe the flashes. Did you get woken up by the rumble? I know you can hear at very low frequencies, but it has to be really loud, like over 120 decibels. What woke you up, Deepa? It's funny that we're chatting through the chat. Oh, a cask strength Hackshoe 12 would be worth some big money, but it would be impossible to buy. I would love to have a stronger Hackshoe 12. That would be good. Yeah, Kilkaran Old 12 is better than the 16, which is better than the new 12. Oh, okay, I get it. Gabriel, no, I didn't mean that the whiskey is not good. I haven't opened mine yet. I meant it's bad that so many are in the auctions. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because people get them just to flip them. Well, it's good because they haven't made any profit. So that's good. From last night's drinking, Indri, it's so different from others. Unique, intriguing, unusual. But young indeed. Yes, fair enough. See, everyone's chatting to Deepa now. Hey, Deepa, Deepa, Deepa. She can feel the thunder. Is that an AC/DC song? It's due to my cochlear implant from 2002, but I'm more interested in whiskies. But Deepa, what woke you up? Oh, she's missing everyone. Where in the world is Deepa? Deepa is in Singapore, Don. With her sister and her parents. Deepa's mum had a stroke and is not doing so well. And unfortunately, Deepa's dad managed to roll out of bed or fall this morning and took a trip to the hospital as well to confirm some cracked ribs. So it's really, the wheels are coming off in Singapore at the moment. Oh, it's a shame, but at least Deepa is there. Welcome in, Deepa, Whiskey 101 is saying. The whole chat is thinking about you and hoping you're okay in these challenging times. A dram will help a little. Yes. I did send samples of things for Pooja to try. The baggage limit was small, so they were just 1 ounce samples of things like, well, she loves Laphroaig 18. So she got a Laphroaig 25. What else did I send? Oh no, sorry. 27. I think the Highland Park. I can't remember what I sent. I sent 6 things. And she said Deepa is not allowed to drink any of them. So Deepa can only drink the Indri or maybe something local. Don, thanks. Sending prayers and good wishes. Appreciate it, Don. Deepa, my thoughts and prayers also from Sandro. And actually I've got a little thanks to a person called Lenny Lipton died this week. My career peaked in the animation industry doing stereoscopic versions of animated movies at DreamWorks. So if you've seen any 3D movies, as in, 3D glasses, I did that stuff. And Lenny Lipton was the pioneer that created a screen technology that could go in front of the digital projectors that allowed 3D to happen. But you probably know him through the fact that back in his college days, he also wrote the lyrics to Puff the Magic Dragon and Peter Yarrow. What's Peter, Paul and Mary? Peter Yarrow or Paul Yarrow. He typed them on Peter Yarrow's typewriter and left them there in his dorm room apparently. And that became the song Puff the Magic Dragon. And that residual money that Lenny Lipton got allowed him to not get a job and to follow his interest in stereoscopic 3D. And actually I'm going to walk off to grab the camera because it happens to be sitting here and it is dusty, no lenses in it, things like this. 2 lenses for 2 eyes. And Lenny was an enthusiast who set up a business creating stereoscopic technology for science, mostly science research. Visualizing, atomic structures with 3D glasses is much easier. And that opened the door for his technology to be used in the projectors, which allowed my career to go from, low-level animation stumbling along into someone who had stereoscopic knowledge, because I'd been a 3D enthusiast as a hobbyist all those years. And then suddenly it became a mainstream thing. Not so much at the moment, but Avatar coming out in December might give it another bit of a kickstart. I had, a decade of very interesting career in the animation industry doing stereoscopic film work. And a bit of work with Ang Lee on some of his movies, Life of Pi and Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk, because of some stereo stuff in there. I'm doing a little bit of work for an animation studio up in Canada at the moment, helping them, and I'm doing some stereo work there. So, cheers to Lenny. He was 82, and we had many great talks. Cheers, Lenny. Isn't whiskey a lovely thing? Those are both enjoyable in their different ways. As long as you didn't send Dalmore Whiskey 101, there you go. That's one way to lose family members. It's life, as if life isn't kicking you enough right now. Yeah, exactly. Eric! Oh, good to see you in, Eric. Yes. Okay, everybody. Let's hit the thanks, everyone, for watching. Deepa, lots of whiskey fans here. Last night, Pooja's neighbour invited us over to see his whiskey collection one day. Come on, Deepa. I want to hear the report where you look at the whiskey collection and give your full, blunt whiskey face opinions. Because I wonder, you know, it could be fantastic. Maybe there's Broras waiting to be discovered. Okay, people. I will try and think of something else to do whilst Deepa is away. Ah, Lenny. Feeling sad now. In a nice way. Fond memories. Looking at my stereo camera. We will see you sometime. I'll think of something to do. Thanks for everyone for joining in. And where's my out button? Give Indri a try. Bye for now.